Let's move on to topic number 4. A guy that we really would love to talk about, a champion, 7-time champion, Lewis Hamilton, re-signs a 2-year deal with Mercedes going forward. And we were all waiting to see when the deal was going to be signed, and it was signed a lot earlier than we thought. And hey, 2 more years confirmed for Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes.
Yeah, I know we mentioned not too long ago, or back in the winter at least, that Lewis Hamilton had only signed that 1-year deal to stay with Mercedes for this year, 2021. So I'm sure Mercedes was worried that either this could be it, or he's just going to go 1 year every year, and they're going to be stressed as all hell to try to re-sign him every single year. Or, what are their future plans going to be if Lewis Hamilton leaves? Now they have him locked up for 2 more years with this extension. And we've mentioned this, I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, how Max Verstappen is now pulling way ahead of Lewis Hamilton in total points in the standings for first place. And you're wondering if Mercedes is not punting on the season, because they're still going to be top 3, top 2, for the rest of the year. Are they sort of punting on the season when it comes to the car technology because of the new rules in the offseason? Are they now gearing up for 2022 and 2023 because with the rule changes, they can now change the technology of their car? That's been their specialty since day one with them. Mercedes' technology has always been above and beyond compared to the rest of the grid. So, now you got Lewis Hamilton locked in for 2 more years. And like you said, I think last week or the week before, now they can find out who's going to be driving with him for the next couple of years as well. The next driver knows that they'll be side by side with Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes seat. So I think things are set up well now for Mercedes. And we thought this year, with the way that Verstappen and Red Bull were driving, that this could be the end for Mercedes and maybe Lewis Hamilton, but definitely not now. He's locked up for 2 more years. Mercedes still, carrying all that weight they've been carrying for the past, 9 years that they've had Lewis Hamilton. So this is huge for them. Awesome for Lewis Hamilton, and he's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, man, good to see that Lewis is going to be on the grid for a guaranteed another 2 more years. And with the new car and the new car regulations. So it's good to see that we're going to have a couple of champions with obviously Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel, and Fernando Alonso, all former F1 champions, still on the grid when the new regulations come out and the new cars. So that'll be exciting. But really excited to see Lewis sign this deal. And it was a lot earlier than last year. So last year during the pandemic, the contract negotiations got pushed out a lot, and then Lewis got COVID himself, and that even pushed back negotiations even further. So they didn't really lock him up for this 2021 season until late until 2020. So I think all of us were kind of saying, hey, are the negotiations for this contract going to go late into the season? And then boom, they come out early in the summer, before the summer break, and get this deal done a lot earlier than anybody expected. And Toto Wolff and Lewis were just talking the other day saying they got it done a lot earlier than they expected too. And Toto was saying maybe I needed to negotiate a little stronger, and Lewis said, no, you did a good job. And so it was funny to see those two talking about it, but to have their relationship continue as well, obviously a championship relationship, and it's going to go forward. I think Mercedes is not done by any means. I know Red Bull has won the last 5 races, but Toto Wolff came out this week and said they are bringing updates to the car for Silverstone, and he's expecting them to go 1-2 on the grid at Silverstone. So for a F1 team boss to come out with a prediction like that, I mean, he's got to be backing it up, and he's got to know something. He's got to know something that's coming down the line with that car, upgrades to that car over these next few weeks before the British Grand Prix that's going to put them right back into the fight with Max Verstappen and Red Bull. And we've still got a long way to go in this season. So if Mercedes can do that at the British Grand Prix, I mean, it's going to open up some eyes, and I know I will be extremely happy to see that. So I hope Toto Wolff knows what he's talking about, and he always seems to. So I'm expecting to see a 1-2 from Mercedes coming up in the British Grand Prix. But hey, now Lewis is locked into another 2 years. He can just go ahead and drive and focus on the fight with Max Verstappen and focus on this championship. That was another thing he commented about. So now he's going to give everything to the title fight. And he said the fight's not over. For anybody thinking it is, it's not by any means. And so we're going to be in a long haul fight here with Red Bull and Mercedes to the end. But also, like I said, hey, now he's locked into 2 more years with the new cars. And now it says who's going to be the guy that's teams up with him. Rumor has it now is that they might be announcing George Russell over the next few weeks to join Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes, where they'll have the all-British lineup at Mercedes, which would be awesome. And obviously, George Russell is a young up-and-coming star himself in F1. And then you got two amazing drivers once again pushing themselves. So, hey, Valtteri Bottas obviously had a podium here most recently at the Austrian Grand Prix, but he's got to keep producing numbers like that if he's looking to keep his job, because silly season has already started in F1, and they're already talking about filling his spot with George Russell. But Lewis Hamilton locked into another 2 years at I want to say Red Bull, but obviously that's the team we're fighting. Another 2 years at Mercedes. And this is another thing, too. Now his contract goes hand in hand with Max Verstappen, the guy that he's going to be fighting for these next couple of years as well.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that. You wonder if Bottas, now that he knows that Lewis Hamilton's extended to 2023, would want to leave Mercedes because he's sick and tired of being second fiddle to Lewis Hamilton, because he has shown his frustration with that in the past, having to be a good teammate and stuff like that with Hamilton, despite his success on the track as well.